Here we have a very good question from Mr. Cesar from Argentina, who asks, why did the Prophet of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam marry Mrs. Aisha when the Shia say she had such bad behavior? Let's see, one by one. Do the Shia say that Mrs. Aisha had bad behavior? Or do Sunni sources say the same? That is the first question. When Ibn Abbas asks about Surah Tahrim, فَخَانَتَا, when it speaks of these women in the plural in Surah Tahrim, it says, which were these two women who annoyed the Prophet of Islam. Who is asking? Abdullah ibn Abbas. Who is he asking? Mr. Umar ibn Khattab. Says, first he did not respond to me. So, when I insisted in the end. Once Omar wanted to go to the bathroom, then I pressed him. At that moment when he wanted to go to the bathroom, then he told me, they are Aisha and Hafsa. That is in the Sunni sources. We do not say it ourselves. Abdullah ibn Abbas narrates from Mr. Omar ibn Khattab about these two women mentioned in Surah Tahrim, that the Holy Quran says, two wives of the Prophet of Islam, who, when the Prophet of Islam gave a secret, they annoyed the Prophet and revealed this secret. It is interesting that two women of the Prophet that everyone always asked, who are these people? So, Mr. Omar says, they were Aisha and Hafsa, Surah Tahrim, chapter 66 of the Holy Quran, verse 3 and verse 4. In such a way that these two women, God says, they must repent for the betrayal they committed, verse 4 of chapter 66. In tatuba ila Allah faqad sagat ghulubukuma. If you repent to God, because your hearts have been contaminated with sin, and God threatens them. وَإِن تَظَاهَرَ عَلَيْهِ. If they do not repent, they wanted to plot against the Prophet of Islam. That is what the Holy Quran says. وَإِن تَظَاهَرَ عَلَيْهِ. If they make an alliance against the Prophet of Islam, فَإِنَّ اللَّهُ وَمَوْلَاهُ. God is the defender of the Prophet of Islam. The Archangel Gabriel is the defender of the Prophet of Islam. صالح المؤمنين Imam Ali. وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ ظَهِيرٌ. Imam Ali. Then the angels will be defenders of the Prophet of Islam. So first, it should be noted, this is not said only by Shia sources. Sunni sources say this. For example, about the Battle of Jamal. Who says that Aisha started the Battle of Jamal? All Sunni sources. Who says that Lady Aisha called Osman Iyana, Uqtulu Iyana innahu faqad kafar, Uqtulu na'thala. Who ordered the killing of Osman, the third caliph? Lady Aisha, we do not say this alone. All Sunni sources say it. So, when we are going to ask, for example, that Aisha hated Fatima and the children of Fatima, Hassan and Hussein, who says this? Sunni sources say it. We do not say it. Pay attention. First of all, what the brother says to you, why do you say that it is not just us? Everyone recognizes that two wives of the Prophet of Islam bothered the Prophet of Islam. That, first of all, is not just from us. Secondly, why did the Prophet of Islam marry these women? In the tribal life of Medina, alliances were only achieved through marriage and pacts. When a person wanted, for example, to disarm a tribe that was an enemy, they would say, one from our family will marry into their family. So, I myself will marry a daughter of their tribe. And that is how they would achieve peace. They would achieve peace. That is to say, this tribe would say, so-and-so married one of our daughters. It's like we have the descendants of so-and-so in our tribe. Then, the war was over. So the Prophet of Islam married many women, which were 8 or 9. Some say more or less. Each one thus strengthening a social bond with a tribe. It is already clear. One of the influential people was Mr. Abu Bakr. From his own tribe, he was the most respected person of that tribe of Abu Bakr. Mr. Omar was a prominent person from his tribe, among others like Abu Sufyan. The Messenger of God married the daughter of Abu Bakr, Aisha, the daughter of Omar, Hafsa, and the daughter of Abu Sufyan, Habiba. Not only did he marry her, he married several women, each from a different tribe. And all of that was after going to Medina. When the Messenger of God, in the last years of his life, the last 10 years of his blessed life, needed to strengthen the bond to establish the Islamic government, it was the only way. For you to understand, for example, Al Saud today, Al Saud, their father, whom I don't know, Abdulaziz, their dad, when he came to dominate Saudi Arabia, lived in the same tribal life. Who managed him? The English. The only solution they found to unite all of Saudi Arabia was for that chief of Al Saud to marry a daughter from each famous tribe. He married, I don't know, up to 50 women, something like that. Contemporary. This is about 100 years ago or less. So, each of those you are seeing now, those kings who come one after another, are representatives of a tribe whose ancestor was the son of that king, meaning a woman from that tribe married that king of Saudi Arabia. Now, their children are in charge to this day. This is how the tribal life of Saudi Arabia is. So, when the English want to impose their own in Saudi Arabia, which will be Al Saud, they do the same. It is their logic. Do you understand me? So the Messenger of God, when he reaches God, is given a special permission because here it is necessary to establish the government. There is no other way. It is the problem of their tribal life. Well, then, these marriages were necessary. If they weren't necessary, the Messenger of God wouldn't have done it. It wasn't for personal pleasure because they fell in love. No, nothing like that. It was necessary. And the Messenger of God, the man so merciful, so kind, then had to marry that. And they loved being next to that man so merciful. They were all like that, willing to marry the Messenger of God. No one forced any of these women, nor was she a minor. According to reliable sources, she was between 17 and 19. There are even sources that say she was a divorced 22-year-old when she married the Messenger of God, and that is the option that I believe is more reliable, that she was between 17 and 19 years old. So all of them, when they married voluntarily, many of them were widows or divorced. Well, that is the explanation on the topic. God bless you.